Hi there, I'm Ulf at HoboRec. Today we're going to talk about one of my new favorite microphones. Yeah, so as I said, today we're going to talk about microphones. And around the New Year's, I picked up a pair of Soyuz 023 Bomblets. I based that decision on basically three things. The first, they look really cool. Second, a lot of really good reviews from people I respect. And the third reason was the product explanation on their website. Color and clarity, featuring a distinct blend of color and clarity. The Soyuz 023 Bomblet condenser is perfect for capturing everything from drums to amplifiers. With its forgiving top end, smooth mid-range and thick lows, the Bomblet complements the aggressive tonalities of brighter instruments and vocals without sacrificing transience or detail. Yeah, that's pretty much how I could round up this whole video and just call it a day, but I'm not gonna do that because I'm here to give you some video content. My thought was to make a full song recording with just these two microphones, with the limitations and benefits that's giving me, and sort of give you a feeling of how it behaves on different instruments and in what situations it might need other microphones to complement the sound. So let's start with drums. A little embarrassing confession I have is that I never tried the Glyn Johns technique, but now since we have two condenser microphones, what better situation could there be to try it out? So I read up a little bit on the Glyn Johns techniques and there are some slight variations on it, but the way I did it, I placed one microphone on top of the snare drum, just straight up from the snare drum, and the other microphone like behind the floor tom, pointing towards the snare drum. And both microphones have the exact same distance to the snare drum. In the mix, I'm panning the microphone above the snare drum 50% to the left and the one behind the floor tom 100% to the right. And that, of course, depends if you want the drummer's perspective or the audience perspective. There are more ways to go about it, but that panning, I thought it gave me the most natural stereo image of the drum kit without sounding weird. So let's have a listen. That sounds really cool, but the problem with this big live room I find sometimes is that it doesn't really give any reflections to the overhead microphones. So if you want to have it sound large, you have to put a lot of room microphones, but it doesn't reflect back to the overhead microphones. So let's try to move the drums into one of our ISO rooms that has all hard surfaces and see what we get out of recording in there. I'm opening up the glass walls. We get some of the absorption of the walls on the other side of the glass walls. The room will get bigger, but a little bit deader. Okay, so we have 3 different drum sounds. Please let me know in the comments which one you like the most and why. Let's continue recording the rest of the instruments. So right before this recording, I just recently picked up a new bass rig. It's a Marshall Silver Jubilee. It's not a tube amp, but if you drive the gain all the way and then also turn up some of the EQ knobs all the way up, it gets a really cool distortion. And I feel with these microphones, they can handle distortion really good without getting too harsh. So both for the bass guitar and the electric guitar later, I'm gonna just place the microphone straight into the middle of the cone. Might not be the best option, but I think you can relate to how it usually sounds when you put a microphone straight in there. It gets really bright and harsh, but I think these microphones handle it really, really well, and it sounds very natural and basically like it sounds out in the room. I thought we're just gonna make a little quick review with the bass and guitars on the drums and see what room of the drums fits best with the guitar and this song. So I'm sitting here now in the editing, and I have to say, I think the third option is the one that fits the best. The first one is a bit too dry and unexciting. The second one is a bit too roomy. The third one gets a little bit of that oomphiness that you get from the reflections in the room, since it's a smaller room, but still fits with the general feel of the song. So we're gonna go with that, and let's put the vocals on there. So if we listen to this whole thing without any mix, just the tracks as they are, I feel like it's a bit on the dark side. The guitars, I love them. Might need a little bit more top end on some stuff if we would like do a more like a modern rock song. It fits this song, but let's try. I will just do a really quick mix to like blend everything together a little bit better and see what it sounds like. Please let me know in the comments what you think. Where do you think the microphone excels and where would you maybe choose another microphone? I know for a fact that I've been using these microphones on guitar cabs a lot lately. It's either a combination of two dynamic microphones, like the well-known Fredman technique, if there's like more a modern metal sound. But in those same situations, this one really works well too. It's easier to just have one microphone to capture the full sound that I want to get, and it takes very little EQ to make it fit in the mix, in my experience. And pretty much the same for distorted bass. Somewhere that I have tried them that doesn't really fit the style of music that I work on is on toms, because I really like the MyLab VM44s, and they have a lot more top end. They sound more like mixed. If I would do like a more vintage rock song like this song that I just did, it might just work perfectly on toms as well. On overheads, I love them. When I set up a full band recording, I usually rig everything so we can jump back and forth between different instruments to make it really easy on everyone involved. That's why they usually live on the guitar cabs now, but otherwise I would really love them for overheads too, because they have this really good transient response without being harsh. It's almost like it's a condenser version of a ribbon microphone. And it's really nice to have a microphone that does its thing and just not a variation of all the other condenser microphones that I have. So if you want to find out more information, the links to Soyuz microphones is in the description. If you are in Europe, or maybe, I'm not sure if it's international, but I will have my affiliate link to Thomann, where you can buy the microphone too. And other than that, thank you so much for watching this whole video and sticking with me to the end. See you next time. Bye bye. Cheers.